Hello, in this video I will explain the use of xsd-schema-validator, Node.js module. We will see its application on the example. There is already some template called first projects exist for us, then some index HTML, and then XML, two files, one XSD, the schema, and Java and class files for working together with xsd-schema-validator tool for Node.js. So this explanation and this example is done in the context of Factory Information Systems course, and well, some of the viewers of this video may recall that during class lecture, slide 50, available in Moodle, you can find a particular example, and this is for ship order XML file, XSD file, schema definition for this file on slide 50, and then on the next slide you can find already an example, well, broken example, having some violations, and therefore validator should point us to those violation of the schema. So back to our list of files. I will exemplify it with Windows operating system. So I will change now the view to the Windows 10. And in Windows operating system, I have prepared already a folder on the C drive, test FIS1, well, Factory Information Systems 1 folder, and in this folder I already have my files downloaded from Moodle, which are ship order broken XML, this ship order XSD, and ship order XML file. Then in addition I have here Node modules available as well. For inside there you can find XSD schema validator installed already. But how I did this? So you can follow in the same example, in the same path, by creating some folder on your drive, like in my case it's some test folder FIS1, and copying from the Moodle the list of the files. And then as the next step you can use a command prompt. Well, of course you should have still Node.js installed on your computer. This can be done well from Node.js website, node.js.org, and you can follow just recommended for most users version and follow then installation instruction. Once you have Node.js installed, well, again you can come back to given folder, and I will be showing you in a command prompt. So you can come to the search here and type xmd for command prompt, for activating command prompt. If you have previously successfully installed Node.js, you may see also Node.js command prompt appearing for your choice. But let's start just a command prompt. Once you have a command prompt running, you need to navigate to the folder that you have created on your disk. So how to navigate to the folder? I can check from the address bar here that it's C drive test FIS1 by clicking this first icon. So by default it's more well, user friendly, if you like, set like this PC, local disk C, test FIS1, but if I click here on the icon, I get a path in more old traditional way. Let's try to get there with our command prompt. Usually when you start a command prompt, it appears to your user folder, user directory. So for the changing the directory, there is in the DOS in the command prompt exists a command cd. Then you need to place a space and place two dots. CD stands for change directory, and two dots here tell that you would like to go level up. And as we need to navigate, come back to the C drive, we need to go a level up. Change directory, space, two dots, level up. Okay, you see immediately this blinking cursor comes after the users, so we jumped one directory up. Then we need to make another jump. I again type cd, change directory, two dots, and jumping to the level of the C drive. Then I need to start navigating from the C drive to test and fis1 directory. How will I do it? Very easy. Again, cd for change directory, and then typing test as next comes test in our path. Okay, I'm at the test level, and then cd and again typing in the name of the folder or directory where I would like to go. In my case, fis1. And I have reached now with the command prompt the same level as with the Explorer window here. There is another useful command in those available to list what we have in our folder. This is dir command I type, and I get a list what I have there, and you see we now in textual form see what we have here, well, in more graphical, iconic way as for the Windows operating system. Okay, so what is next? Again, I have already Node modules installed here, prepared, but it's well, important to install xsd-schema-validator. And I'm going to the tab for the xsd-schema-validator, and here first well, item for how to use it's install via npm. You can just copy, well, making Ctrl+C on your keyboard, and then Ctrl+V or paste with the right mouse click. This command, after you would press it, it will create a folder, Node modules having installation of xsd schema validator. So I won't run it this command once again, since I have this module installed for me here. I now go back to the Explorer window, and again showing that I have this xsd schema validator. Let's check the structure of this folder. You can find a support folder there. Well, by default, when you will install it, you will find it just with one Java file, xml-validator Java, and no class file available there. So you can download and place their xml-validator class and validator Java from well, this list. This xml-validator Java, in comparison to, well, default one coming with installation, provides more elaborated view on the mistakes or errors that you may get during validation of XML files, and therefore you, well, can more easily pinpoint the source of the problems. So therefore recommended for the people who have access to this list to use these files, download and place it to the support folder. In addition, it is important to have environment variable set for Java home. So I can check if I have already Java home variable set. Obviously, I do have it already on the C program file Java, and in my case it's JDK 1.8 121. You can download JDK, the latest version, install it, and then, well, check how to set environment variables using control panel. So it's quite easy steps to follow. Well, you can Google them up. Setting environment variables, and in particular Java home. Setting of this Java home variable is important to work with the, well, Java file. If you make modifications, for example, to compile it again and use them for the validation. Okay, so if we would like to run our application, we need to first check how and in what way our first project JS works. We may not need at this point sophisticated tools like, I don't know, some sophisticated IDEs like, for instance, WebStorm. We can even use default Node paths to take a look inside. I place, well, Notepad, then space, and type in the name of the first project JS file. First, I press tab for autofill, and after entering this line, I press enter. And this program to be used with Node.js is opened, and we see, well, it's one of the first lines. It requires our schema validator. We have put correct Java file into the folder, support folder, and we are about to check how to use it. Now, if you analyze it, well, this particular example, you see that there are different arguments that our applications should receive. Our line should start with the node, then the name of the application we run, in this case is first project, then comes the XML file name, and finally as a fourth argument or index with the free, as we start the indexing from 0, therefore fourth element has index 3, is the schema file. Well, with this simple example, all of the files should be in the same folder. So if we look again to, well, our list of the directory fis1, we can find that yes, our xml-xsd file are in the same folder as first projects. Now we need to run our first projects, and let's see what happens. For running, again, we can type node. Well, as I'm following just node, then first project JS and etc. Therefore, I place space here, typing in first projects. Again, I press tab for autofill, then pressing space. Then comes XML file. Let's try ship order. Ship order, and then XML. Okay, I have typed it in. Another space. I type in now schema file xsd, and that's it. It's enough to run an application. Please, let's take a look what happens now with the support folder. You see, at this moment it has only one file. However, when I run it, let me again press enter, we would see that the class file has appeared in the support folder. So it means that this Java file, thanks to the correctly set Java home, was compiled and XML-validator class was generated. But however, we see there are some errors coming, which basically tells us not much, telling that there is some error as we were trying to build XML files. Here we need to make, well, another observation. That XML validator Java file that we have has one particular field defined. I will use already opened web storm IDE to look to Java file. In principle, we can look also using Node.js, but then we need to navigate to the correct folder. Yes, it's possible, but here I will use the help of xml-validator Java. So I'm opening the tool, and by the way, I'm having already validator.js opened here in one of the tabs, just checking what is happening. And for finding errors, I could, for instance, as one option, set this parameter to true, well, and then comments, but let me first open a Java file. So I'm going file and just making open of a file and navigating to support folder and opening Java file. As we have a Java file open, immediately one can say see after XML validator class declaration, we see the end has been declared in this particular way. 3 lines and then 3 dash symbols. This should signify the end of the stream, input stream or file. In this particular case we have. Now if I go back to our command prompt, and I will now check what is the situation with our ship order XML, which we were trying to parse, and we are getting this error. So does it have this ending to signify the end of the file? We see no, it does not have correct valid marker. Let's insert it at the end, and it's important also in this particular implementation, press enter, new line feed. And what I do file, save, and then I'm about, as I save the file, to go to the command prompt and do once keyboard up arrow pressed, and then twice, second time. So on my keyboard I just pressed 2 times arrow up, so to get from the history command what I have been using. So as we have been using this command for XML ship order file, we have got this error, and now we have added the marker to the end of the file and save this file, and we were able to identify that we are needing this marker by looking to the xml-validator Java. Okay, let's see what happens now if I press enter once again. Okay, so I get this XML file ship order XML is valid, equal true. So the file has been correctly validated. Again, I can open this first project XML, and if I navigate, we can see that this message XML file is valid true is coming here, printed by this line. We are reaching this line only if well, result is true. Otherwise, if there would be error, like it was, well, before we tried the example without having this end marker, we have been exiting process here, so it was not going further with this example. Okay, so let's try now with the other XML file what we have, which was, I just again pressed arrow up and I put broken here. So broken XML, this is the name of the file. We can actually check here from the test fees. I'm jumping back here and see that ship order broken XML file. We see this is XML file located also in the same folder. Therefore, I just put broken, and we try with the same schema validate. As you could guess, the first message we get is the error message, because we need again to signify the end, well, in particular way, the end of the stream explicitly. Therefore, I again try to edit this broken file, XML file. Let me try XML, no, sorry, Notepad. What was the name? Ship order, sorry. That's Notepad. Ship order broken XML, and we insert here again 3 dashes and 3 dashes, enter. I save the file after this, coming back to the line, couple of pressing arrow up to get from the history one of the last commands, and again let me try to press enter, and we get already more meaningful output in terms of errors, parsing errors, and it points already on the line 3 if we have a valid order ID type in our XML file. Let's, by the way, check it. It should be, yes, defined here. Then value of attribute an element of ship order is not valid with respect to its type. Okay, let me see. Line 3 doesn't like it. Yes, it doesn't like it because it should be 6 elements. Yes, it's as it said here, numbers, the pattern from 0 to 9, and the length should be 6. In our case, it's 5 elements here. This is one error. Then on line 14th and line 19th coming other errors, as we also could have set up negative probably quantities, and whereas this minimum inclusive is 1. Yes, as it also tries to tell with this comment. Okay, in this video we have seen how to work with xsd schema-validator, well, installing it, and then in particular setting up, well, working with XML-validator, setting up a correct ending of the input stream. Then it's important to set up environment variables done in the control panel, and then using first example how we can run applications in the Node.js just with the files. So for the moment that is all, and check forward for the new